When you open your file on Google Sheets, you'll be greeted with this welcome page. This page has a general overview of the steps and several really helpful links. So on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll see links to all the tabs in your spreadsheet. All of these will take you directly to the tab if you hover down below them. You'll also see all the tabs at the bottom of your spreadsheet. Either way is a perfect way to navigate your spreadsheet. The first step is to go to your reading data tab. Again, you can access it both ways. When you get to your tab, this is the home base of your spreadsheet, and this is truly where the magic happens. I recommend starting here and entering in all of your data. I'm going to enter in some pretend data. So the student's name is Andy. The student number is already there for you. I think that's something that traditionally we all assign to our students. You can enter in their scaled score or maybe their benchmark score that they've received for this point in the year. Their words per minute fluency score if they have it. If not, you can feel free to skip. Now, what makes the spreadsheet truly special is the way that you're able to look at your students' strengths in the areas that you'd like them to grow in, and it helps you really find the best plan for that. So for my pretend student Andy, I'm just going through and choosing the top strength that Andy has. I can choose multiple other strengths, the top priority that I'd like him to grow in, and then other areas that are concerns for Andy as well. If you keep on scrolling over, we have a considerations column, which I think is super important because when you're making your groups, you know your students better than anyone else. So for this student, I'm going to say that he has a behavior and is also on an MTSS chart. And then I can even leave a note that this student has extended time on assessments and he needs to be separated from student 3. Now that I have all my student data in my spreadsheet, I'm ready to make student groups. And this is what makes this template truly magical. I want to show you the prompt tab on your spreadsheet. If you click over to your prompts, you'll see that I have everything set up for you ready to go. So before you put in your data, I recommend using the intro prompt. Like I've stated above, it helps teach ChatGPT just a little bit about you and your class before you start throwing data around. So I'm going to take this intro prompt and click the box, and I'm going to Command C because I'm on a Mac, Control C, and I'm going to throw this into ChatGPT first. If you've never used ChatGPT before, it's free and very easy to use. So I put my prompt in, and I'm going to say that I teach second grade. I'm focusing on small groups, and I want them to be on specific skills or standards. So I'm going to go ahead and send that along. And ChatGPT says, let's go ahead and look at the data. To make my student groups today, I'm going to highlight all the cells that I want, but being very careful to keep my student data anonymous. So what I'm going to do is I'm clicking in box B2, and then I'm going to hold the Shift key and use the arrow keys on my keyboard and just tap down. And then I'm going to use the arrow keys again and go all the way across my spreadsheet through the notes column. And then I'm going to do Command C. When you have your student data, you can do the same thing. You can simply copy and paste it in, and it looks crazy to you, but it is the right information all the way across, and ChatGPT can usually handle it pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and send it on and see what ChatGPT sends back. It's really fascinating to me just to see what ChatGPT sends as a proposed grouping, and I'm just fascinated that it already has target skills and things. And the group that I have is truly random and made up, and there's still some kind of schedule. So this is a great starting point for me. Let's take a look at those prompts again to see how they can support us. Now, the prompts that we have here, they are meant to assist you in any kind of situation you might have for your reading group. So depending on if you are the type of person who likes skill-based groups, mixed ability groups for your centers, if you have specific behavior needs, if you're wanting to work on different strategies so your groups are multi-sensory, I've tried to accommodate it with these prompts that are pre-written for you. So just make sure you're previewing the prompt before you hit send when you put it in ChatGPT, and you should be able to find the groups that are exactly what you need. Now, my last little recommendation here is when you are finished playing around and getting this style group that you need, I recommend using this last prompt here. It says for easy pasting back into your Google Sheet. So if you take this one here, it says to please reorganize them so you can copy and paste the group numbers into your spreadsheet. Let's give this one a go. I'm just telling ChatGPT I want to be able to reorganize it again. And as you can see, ChatGPT doesn't always listen like I'd like, so I want the information in a table so I can just literally copy and paste the group number. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that directive. This is exactly what I meant. Now I can take just this column, this spreadsheet, and look how easy this is. And then stick them in my reading data. And now I can quickly tell what group everybody is in. And if I want to sort my students by group, I can quickly do that and see who is together. Now that we've played around with some of our prompts, let's take a look at the rest of our tabs. The next tab is the schedule tab. So we can see ChatGPT already helped us with schedules a little bit. There are several prompts relating to schedules. So if this is something that will be helpful for you, feel free to use this tab. And if you need to, you can always insert in additional rows to create more rotations. The next page is the student profiles page. Now, I love this page because it is a really great way to handle your progress monitoring. When you're on your student profiles page, the cool thing about this one is that a few of the fields auto-populate. So your student names, they are auto-filled from your reading data page. And same with the considerations column. Now, the way this page is designed, it will show your student progress all throughout the school year. So if Caitlin, for example, has an end of the year goal of 800 as her reading score, you'll be able to see her progress update all year long. So I will show you a sample for a few students. I entered in a few sample goals and you can see their progress grow all throughout the year. So maybe we have their beginning of the year benchmarks in here, just that we have a baseline. So as they type in numbers throughout, their progress bar will increase. And this has 6 progress monitoring points for every single trimester of the year, beginning, middle, and end of the year benchmark. And just like we looked at before, if you click these little arrows, you can unhide different sections of the year. So if you're focusing on middle of the year, you can always highlight these columns and hide them just to get them out of your way. A few other boxes over here so that you can note observations. You can keep track of accommodations and modifications as well. Quick note on these drop-down boxes, if there's ever any notes that you would like to add, either for considerations on the other pages or for accommodations and modifications, you can click the little edit at the bottom, and then on the right-hand side of your screen, you will see all of the different options that are added, and you can trash items that are not valuable to you, and you can add any other items that would be helpful. Just make sure you click the done button when you're finished making your edits, and then it will save. If you click on to the group tab, this is another helpful one. You can type out what student is in what group. So looking back to our reading data tab, this would be a place where you are tying in those group numbers and student numbers. Now that I have that pasted in, I can even click and drag this column so that I can see my group number closer to my student names. So maybe I'd want to type in Caitlin, Matt, Henry, and Linda. I can even copy and paste them right into my group. Boom, so that's already done and good to go for me. I could do the same for all of my groups. And then remember, ChatGPT even gave me a focus point for each of my groups. ChatGPT marked this group as vocabulary development, so I can type that in. This is just a way for me to keep all of my group sets organized, and I can keep them fluid as well because this is information that I can change easily as it updates. When you're on this tab, this is where you'll find this video and several different FAQs. So if there is anything that you need, hopefully it is answered in here. And if you can't find the answer to your question, please feel free to send me an email. You can reach me at help@organizeandeducate.com. I hope that this data and grouping template makes your life a little bit easier when it comes to meeting the needs of your students with diverse reading skills. And let me know what else I can do to help you. Happy organizing and educating.